Cool.
This is Matt Brown from HandsDownMusic. I'm here with Blau.
How's it going?
We're here at the Stamp Grand Ballroom at University of Maryland. So first off, just tell us a little about yourself. How would you really describe your music in the industry, and how exactly do you compare it to other artists?
That's a really broad question. I think, I started out by mixing pop vocals and dance music acapella, or dance music instrumentals. And I would say my sound with my own stuff is on the progressive house side. It's big room, big chords. That's kind of my style. And relative to the rest of what's out there, it's kind of hard. There's a lot of comparisons to make, but I guess to make a really big comparison, my goal with my music is to get to a Swedish House Mafia level of production and bigness and sound. Yeah.
That's a pretty big goal, and from what I'm hearing so far, I can see that happening. So
sure, man. Thank you.
Yeah. So who exactly inspired you to really start becoming into the music industry? And,
it wasn't a who as much as kind of just an internal. I've always been into music. I've always been playing. I play piano. I play guitar. I sing. I play drums. And I went to Sweden with one of my best friends, Johan, for a 12-day trip, and it changed my entire life, my outlook on music, everything. Scandinavia is all about the house music, and this was 2 years ago, so this was just before dance music even started really hitting the U.S. hard. And I got back from my trip, and I wanted to be a DJ, just like everyone else wanted to be a DJ, and somehow I got lucky.
So what is it like being abroad, and rather than the U.S.? What's the difference?
I haven't played that much abroad. I've really only played one show really in Mexico. I will be going abroad. It's just it takes a lot of time. I was in school, so it's not easy to go abroad when you were in school. And yeah, I love traveling. Traveling is why I love doing what I'm doing. So
perfect. All right, so yeah, exactly. I was about to ask you, what exactly was your experience like to tour all summer, to all these festivals, and especially the headline, the main stage at EZU. So.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was life-changing. I think this is just the beginning of the tour, so I'm still learning my way and my path. I think it's a really tough life being on the road. Not tough like as in you should pity me. No, don't pity me at all. I'm having the best time of my life. But I think I've learned a lot since I've been traveling. I've learned how important it is to figure out how to make music while you're traveling. It's very difficult to make new music when you're on the road constantly, and it's been amazing.
Have you got any tips from different artists that you've met? Have you really connected or bonded with anybody else?
Tons. Lately I had a really great night with Hardwell. He played in New York City after Electric Zoo, and we hung out for like an hour and a half afterward. He's just like a really, really nice dude. I love his music. I love his live sets. I think he's got a lot of talent, and I hope he hits the U.S. market even harder in the next year.
Yeah, I've been to a show, and it's crazy.
He's a phenomenal DJ. A lot of DJs these days, they play the same thing over and over again, and they're not very skilled on the turntables or on the CDJs or whatever they're using. I'm a controller, so it's a little different. But Hardwell is really doing some big things. Porter Robinson's a big influence of mine. Even though I don't make the same kind of music, I just think he's doing something really, really interesting and unique.
So how exactly do you put your sets together? What's the mind process that you really go through to you think what this is the kind of crowd that I want to appeal to?
Yeah, actually it's really interesting because Ross and I talk about this sometimes, about what different crowds would want, because I'm playing so many different types of crowds. I'm playing hardcore, I could play whatever I want, dance music crowds. I'm playing college crowds that want to hear a little bit of the pop influence. I'm playing, sometimes I'm playing shows where everyone listens to hip hop, and I'm a dance music artist, and so it's I think. I definitely anticipate what I'm going to be playing before every show, because I want to make sure that the crowd's going to have a good time. I think, for a show like this where I only have an hour to play, an hour is kind of limiting, so I got to move fast. I got to be playing really, really fast. And so, I think a lot about what I'm going to play beforehand.
So what would you say is kind of the hardest thing between, being a college student and being on tour and kind of make yourself as a legit,
last semester I died. It was not possible. So I'm actually taking a leave of absence this semester from WashU. And if I'm playing 3 or 4 shows a week, I need downtime. When I get home is when I usually sleep and when I work on new music. So it's impossible to balance both. Naturally you'd think it would be, and it is. So.
Yeah. Exactly, just my workload as well, so it's just kind of crazy.
Yeah, everyone says they don't sleep in college. I didn't sleep in college. Now I really don't sleep at all. So it's You know, there's a difference, but
exactly.
But I love it. You know, I can't complain. It's the best.
There you go. What would you say is one of the favorite shows, like top 3 shows that you've played, or like different? Like, do you have a certain venue that you like?
It's you know, I always get that question. I think it changes a lot. On any different day, I'm thinking, oh, that was cool. Oh, that was cool. I think one of the most energetic crowds that I've ever played was Camp Bisco in upstate New York. It was just so energetic. I played right before Down to Life, so a lot of the Down to Life fans were already there. You know, I played a lot harder stuff than I normally do, and the crowd just had so much energy. Every single thing I was doing, they loved, and it's really hard to find that in a crowd, and it's hard to do that yourself, I think. So that was a big one. Then my first big show ever, I can never forget, was in Orlando. I played the UCF Arena with Alesso, and that was 8,000 people or something around there, 6 to 8,000 people in between there. And it was the first big show I ever played. I was so scared, but it turned out working out in my favor, and everyone loved it, and I think I made a really big impression there. So
that's awesome. You know, it's I guess it's really exciting, especially since you go on to shows like 3 or 4 times a week. That's what I'm saying. It's hard to pick your favorite show. But
it is. I mean, I think by the time this year's over, I will have played I think over 100 shows in the whole year, something like that. So it's a lot.
That's incredible.
It's, you know, a little bit less than a third of the year.
All the time.
Yeah.
So what would you say you're kind of trying to do for like the rest of the year? Are you more working on touring that thing? Or
so this is the beginning of the tour. You can't work on new music when you tour. I've decided it's impossible. I mean, it's possible, but it's very difficult. Just having all my ideas start on the piano, so I think not having a physical piano is really, really hard. Even bringing around a small keyboard could be helpful. I'm probably going to start doing that. But I'm going to be touring through November, and November gets a little bit less busy, and then December is really not that busy at all. And hopefully December, January, February are going to be less busy months where I can, you know, stay back in Vegas, work on new music. I'd love to have an EP ready by, you know, late spring. So if I go home, I make 2 new songs. I already have one that's finished, and you know, I'm hoping that I've already written some of the music already too. I just have to produce it.
So how would you say your lifestyle has changed since when you first said, like, your kind of quick rise to fame, you know, within the EDM community? What is it like to, you know, from when you originally started out and now, you know, you're playing like shows maybe 3 or 4 times a week? What was it like to, you know, just from the beginning to now?
I mean, kind of along the lines of everything else I've been saying. It's a wild ride, you know. It's getting used to touring, getting used to like realizing that you have fans. I mean, that's like kind of a crazy feeling. Like, I have people that like legitimately think of me as an artist whose music they listen to. I don't know. I could never have imagined that for myself. So it's kind of, yeah, it's a wild ride. It's a wild mental ride. But I try to, you know, stay grounded through it all so that I can keep making music and keep working, because that's ultimately what I love to do. So.
It's a wild ride, but do you have any like funnier stories like on the road?
Too many.
That kind of thing?
Too many. Nothing that's really appropriate.
Fair enough. So what would you say? You said you got an EP like coming up. You're still working.
Well, I mean, I hope. I don't know what it's going to be. I mean, right now I have a single that's done, like literally finished. I'm waiting to work with a vocalist on it, and that is a collaboration with 2 friends of mine. That live up in Montreal, and we'll hopefully be putting that out soon. And then after that, I have a bunch of other songs that I've written that I still have to produce. So.
Perfect. So, is there anything that you really want to tell the fans, and you know what to be ready for?
Yeah, definitely get ready for the single that's coming out. I mean, I think it's the best thing that I've ever worked on, and Paris and Seema, the kids I've worked on it with, are phenomenally talented. And we literally went up to Montreal for 3 days where they live. I visited them, and we didn't know what would come out of it. We didn't even expect to have a finished track, and it turns out we finished something that like we're all extremely, extremely excited about. So look out for that single. I don't have a name for it yet, but it's going to be my first like big release. So
perfect. Well, this is Blau. I'm Matt Brown from HandsDownMusic, and have a good day.